Katy, I'm excited to chat with you today about Kids in Crisis Sunday. We're actually here at Love Inc. and it's open. They're getting ready for Christmas stuff's going on here.
Yes.
And this is cool because it's the location of our foster care supply closet.
Yes, right over my shoulder.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Which is part of our Kids in Crisis ministry. If you tell us a little bit about that ministry, why it's important and what it is,
Absolutely.
and why Kids in Crisis Sunday, what that is all about.
So the Kids in Crisis ministry is really an initiative that came from us looking into the community that our church is in to see where the needs existed, and safe and healthy children that had a safe place to live, people around them that cared and would support them and encourage them and help them to grow. That's something that was a huge need that existed through foster care and kinship care.
So we use the word crisis in Kids in Crisis.
Yes.
What's this crisis we're dealing with right now in our city, in our state, and our country?
That's a great question because specifically as it relates to kids in crisis and foster care, our state has well over 1,000 kiddos in need of temporary and sometimes long-term care through fostering. In Pennington County alone, it's well over 400. And we're growing in our number of foster families, but the need is still very great. There are still under 100 foster families that are serving hundreds and hundreds of kids. And so the need is great because they just don't have safe places to go. So they're literally being removed from not only their homes, but also their schools and their neighborhoods because they're having to go live in places where there are foster families available. And
where are they in the interim, these kids?
In the interim, a lot of times they're staying in temporary care provider homes or that have a lot of kids, or they're staying at the DSS office here in town. They're sleeping in conference rooms and being cared for by people whose job it is to care for these kids and to help them find safe places, but not to sit with them in a conference room,
So we have kids that are in need. They're sleeping in conference rooms sometimes.
Yeah.
And on the other side, we have families that are probably overwhelmed because there's so few families and so many kids.
Yes.
How do we support the families that are in need?
So at the church, we have something called a wraparound care team. So every foster family or kinship family, again, those kinship families are grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, we link them up with a point of contact who is essentially the bridge between them and the church. So they're connecting with them regularly, supporting them however they need, and letting us know how we can help them.
So you mentioned coats and boots through the supply closet.
Yes.
We're actually doing a coat drive right now.
Yes.
This week, and hopefully people are bringing coats back to the church.
Yes.
How do we, yes, that's amazing. We can provide warmth for kids in need.
Yes.
Are there other steps like that on a regular basis people can bring stuff to, or can they bring coats still today?
Yeah, really for as long as they would like. Gloves, hats, coats, new or gently used. We're also going to do boots, but shoes are a little harder, so we'll do those on a specific case-by-case basis. We have the privilege of being able to partner with a number of organizations and even other churches and schools to be able to help really any and every foster kiddo or kinship kiddo that needs help.
So when I see Love Your Neighbor bags in the lobby, that should be a warning sign to me, flashing, saying, hey, there's a need, and I can help fulfill that need by grabbing a bag.
Yes, absolutely. Again, we just want to honor the church. The body of Christ does so much to help one another throughout the years because it costs money to do what we're doing. But there's something about being able to know exactly what's needed and to be able to fill a bag and bring it and know that you're able to do something. Because I think no matter what, when we're all being a part of it in one way or another, we just make what's heavy a little lighter.
So if you're in person today, if you're watching online, wherever you're at, watching it later this week, what's your first step to get involved in this Kids in Crisis opportunity?
I think the best way to go about taking your next step is to go to our website, go to our mobile app, or on your way out today, if you're here live and in person, stop by the Next Steps table and they'll have some information for you. Maybe could even answer some of your questions, but just start somewhere. Our heart as an outreach ministry is to really just help provide opportunities for each and every person to step into God's calling in their lives, in their community. We want to just help you find ways to use your gifts and your passions to serve, and Kids in Crisis might be that for a lot of people.